EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for February 9th, 2021. The theme over the next couple of days is going to be weak waves, week wave after week wave. So we've talked about how we're going to have an increase in activity. And if you look at our local forecast, you see a lot of snow on several different days. But I'm going to give you a little bit of context with that because it might not be what you're looking for exactly as far as snowstorms go. Now, today we're going to have one of those events go through here that is going to favor the northern areas, and we're going to have a pretty good swath from about the I-78 corridor and points north, and it's going to be heaviest when you get up around I-80, especially in the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania, where the higher elevations are up here into northwestern New Jersey. I think that's your hot spot today as far as accumulations go, and it's kind of highlighted right here with a little bit of a darker precipitation type on the GFS here, and it's highlighting those areas specifically across the Poconos, up by the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, and in northwestern New Jersey, southeastern New York, interior southeastern New York, away from New York City. So this is the area that is highlighting today, and the NAM shows that as well. Here is what the simulated radar looks like at 6 a.m. You can see this a pretty sharp dividing line between snow and nothing. So if areas further south are getting nothing at all, and then the snow is finally generally confined up in these areas right here in between. So this is the area that we're expecting to see accumulating snow today, and as we go through the course of the morning and the afternoon, you can see that spread eastward, and these areas, again, across the Poconos, northwest New Jersey, you'll probably see the most out of this, where you get into some areas getting in between 4 and 6 inches of snow up there. But the 6 is going to be favoring the higher elevation. So a lot of these areas on our map, I can pull our map up here. This is our map here. Let me size this up for you here so you can see it. But this is the map of what we put out earlier today. And this area in this pink here is the 4 to 6 area. But a lot of these areas are going to be closer to 4 up in these regions. If you're in the higher elevations, you're going to be favoring the 6. Okay. The 2 to 4 area is this area in blue here, and the lightest blue is generally 1 to 2. Further south here along the area D here, this is just generally a coating to an inch, but it's going to be some mixing involved there. So it's not a lot of precipitation overall, but this is this is what we're going to have over these weak waves over the next couple of days. And this is what the NAM is trying to suggest here. This is going to go through intermittently through the early afternoon hours before this finally pulls out by mid-afternoon. It looks like early to mid-afternoon it's out of here. Might even be some mixing further south of 78 here in southeast PA, areas that just got hit hard by the other day from that very strong banding in front of Genesis that was giving you some of you 6 to 10 inches of snow in the same areas here. So further south, few light rain showers, and that's it. And here's what the GFS is printing out for snow totals. This was actually pretty close to our map and what we have here as far as the cutoff areas, the mixing areas further south. You got a 1 to 2 here, around here in this gray area. Then you got a 2 to 4 up in here, and then some highlighted areas here, especially when you look at the with ratios. You can see that highlighted even better with those areas being the jackpot areas, so to speak. And it's going to favor the higher elevations for those snow totals there. So again, this looks pretty close to what I just showed you with our map here. So this is this is the new run that came in this evening, and we put that map out about 6 hours ago. So not a real change here in overall thinking as we're going through this evening. Of course, I'm doing this video a little bit before midnight, so there's not too many changes here from what I can see. So we should be on track. So, like I said, we're going to have a series of waves coming through here, but these are all going to be weak waves and placed in different spots. So it's all going to depend on the height field. And here is that system on Wednesday night and Thursday is going to bring snow to mainly the southern parts of our region here. And you can see the reason, and this is a big difference from what we saw just 24 hours ago when, if I show you that image, it was much further north here. You see this here? It's a lot further north, and it came south, and that's because of these heights here were a little bit higher showing yesterday, and today they are not nearly as high, and therefore the snow is confined a little bit further south. So going back over to the GFS, and this is in 24-hour increments here. I'm going to move this forward. This is what you can expect for the second one here. Focus down here nearest south central PA over to maybe southern parts of southeast PA, maybe getting over to Philly. But the focus here is right along the Mason-Dixon line for this second wave. There's actually a third wave that's going to come in here. And this one comes a little bit further north. This is Thursday night. So you get a little bit of a break after that stuff here on through Thursday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You get a little bit of a break, and then there's a second wave that comes through. This one's a little bit further north, and GFS is showing that too. Here's the 24 hours for that. Looks like that right there. So again, not a lot of snow here. This is only a couple inches of snow, but it's going to be focused, I think, hyper-focused on these areas further south for these next two storms. Are going to be kind of like in these areas primarily. You are going to get snow northeast of that, or north of that, it looks like, but there's just going to be very minor nuisance-type snowfalls there. But here down in these areas, you can get, between the two, a plowable snowfall, certainly. So we'll watch this very closely, and of course we're going to handle these individually one at a time, and nickel and diming to get to snow totals this year after we had those two big storms. This is part of winter too. We don't always have big storms every time. There are going to be little ones too thrown in there, and I think that's the pattern we're heading into over the next several waves that we're going to be moving along that boundary off to our south. Can this change and move back further north? Yes, it can. That hasn't been the trend today, but that doesn't mean it can't do that. And then as we move forward past this one, there's another bigger storm threat here for the weekend. This looks like it's going to be a Saturday night and Sunday deal. Now, the GFS is trying to run this through high pressure here off to the north. I don't know that this is correct, so it's bringing a lot of ice out of this one. I think, see, it has this area low pressure sitting up here over West Virginia. And you can see the height field out off the coast here. See how the isobars are kind of tilted in this direction here? That's telling me that it should be trying to form a secondary low out here. And it does, but it does so too late. And therefore, you get a lot of icing over our region here during the day on Sunday. Here's your secondary forming, but it's much too late for that to happen. And then it just finally takes over once it's past the region here. But if this pops a little sooner, it would be a bigger event that would be more snow. And I'm kind of favoring more of a snow, at least a start situation. This is not really indicating that on the latest GFS run here, but some other models are. So this is something we'll have to watch with a little bit better vested interest here for the weekend, because I think this has the biggest potential of anything that we have over the next several days. These next couple waves that are moving through starting today and going through Wednesday night into Thursday is the second one. Thursday night to Friday morning is the third one. Those are all going to be rather weak waves. There might be some areas that get several inches of snow, get a 2 to 4, 3 to 6 type deal out of them if it's in the right spot. But most of you are going to see lighter accumulations from that for those first three waves that we're dealing with. Just weak waves moving through, kind of sheared out. This one might be a little bit better organized, but I just don't think the precipitation type is broken down correctly at this time. But we'll see. This could happen, but I think it's going to be more one of those things where it's going to transfer to a secondary and be forced to redevelop because of that high pressure off to the north, and then you'll get them a little bit more snow involved, or at least snow to start. But these are details we're going to work out in the coming days. This is still several days ahead, so we have 3 in the meantime to keep an eye on it, including the one that's going to be moving through the region today, which should wrap up, we think, early to mid-afternoon today, and then take the snow showers out with it. I'm EPA NWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for February 9th, 2021. Have a great Tuesday.